My name is Jessica Prophet. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, and this is my Hope City story. So I moved to Phoenix. I moved there with my family. At that point in my life, during the 3 years that I was in Phoenix, I was very far from God. I felt like I hadn't heard from him. I hadn't seen him. He hadn't spoken to me. He hadn't moved. Because of those things, I lost my will to pray. I lost my hope. And I remember the pilot made the announcement that we were making the final descent into Houston. And I looked out the window, and when I looked out over the city of Houston, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, "This is your home base. This is where I want you to be." I took my stuff and I went for it. I went to where God told me to go. Once I got to the Woodlands, I felt that peace, the release to stay there. And I started looking for apartments. And early one Saturday morning, I jumped out of bed and there was a Starbucks across the street. And my mind was like, well, instead of spending that $5, let me go downstairs to the lobby where they have free coffee. In the common area of the lobby, there were all these ladies sitting there, and everyone looked so nice and fancy. And 3 ladies from the group walked in. So I asked, where y'all going? And she said it was a Bible study. I was like, this is no Bible study I have ever seen. There is way too much laughing and scarves and yogurt. They said it was a Bible study. I said, well, I don't know y'all, but I know Jesus. So I pulled up a chair to their group, and it was their Connect group. And so that was my introduction to Hope City. I was just so intrigued by them, the gentleness and the kindness that they had with each other. And no one was running or shouting or, doing all these things that I was used to seeing in church. But they still listened to each other, and they talked about the scriptures, and they talked about their experiences and all those things. And I had never experienced anything like that before. 2 to 3 weeks after I joined that first meeting, my mother passed away. That period was the hardest time of my life. And that community of those women was what I needed. They were solid gold. Every single person reached out to me in the group, individually. They sent me flowers. I don't know what would have happened to me without that group. I didn't think that life could really be this great, and that you could have friends and people who really cared about you. Least of all, church people who were actually kind and genuine. If I had to speak to someone who's where I was, who feels like they give up, it can work out for the best if you give up yourself and decide to double down on Jesus and truly surrender to him and his will. He will guide you. And life can be better than you could have imagined.